Before the world had a floor, Obatala went down, not by choice, by appointment. Olodumare had reached into the assembly and named him, and the name landed on Obatala like a stone placed on a chest. He felt it. He accepted it. He did not speak. He took the satchel. He held it in both hands and felt the weight of what was inside. Chain, shell, hen, cat, knot, and silence. And understood that what he carried was not permission to create, but responsibility for it. The other Orisha watched. Some bowed. Some did not. One turned his face away, and Obatala noticed and filed it. He stepped off the edge of Orun and began to fall. The golden chain unreeled from his arm. Each link caught light that had no source and released it, and the sound it made was something between music and warning. Below him, nothing, just water, restless and bottomless, turning over itself like something in pain. He kept his eyes open. Halfway down, the chain snagged, not on anything visible, a tension in the void itself, resistance without logic, the way a joint protests before it fails. He stopped. He hung there, swaying slightly, and felt the chain tugging upward and the dark pulling down, and for a moment neither gave. His grip tightened. The metal bit into his palm. He waited. He was patient and he was precise, and he was, for that moment, afraid. Then it released. He descended the rest of the way without looking up. The chain reached its end. He hung suspended over the formless dark and felt the weight of the task enter his body the way cold water enters cloth, slowly, completely. His hands were already aching. He noted this without acting on it. He tilted the snail shell. The sand fell. It did not sink. It gathered. It rose. He released the hen and it landed and scratched, and where its claws struck, the earth lifted. Hill, valley. The first river ran sideways from the first scratch, and he watched it find its own direction and did not stop it. He released the black cat and it walked without looking back, and where its paws touched the ground, something settled. He could not name it then. He would call it patience later. He pressed the palm knot down with his thumb. He held it there a moment longer than necessary. His hands were shaking, a small tremor, barely visible, the kind a body produces when it has been asked too much for too long. He pressed until it stopped. Then silence, the last tool. He stood in it and let the earth remember itself. He named it Ile Ife, the land that spreads. He was tired. This is the thing the stories do not say clearly enough. He was tired, not as a metaphor. His body was fatigued. The hands that had gripped and tilted and pressed, the palm still marked from the chain. Divinity does not prevent exhaustion. It only delays it, and when it arrives all at once. He sat under a tree. He put the satchel beside him and reached in. He knew. This is what must be said plainly. Before his fingers closed around it, some part of him, the part that had measured the distance to the end of the chain before he reached it, the part that had noted his hands were shaking and pressed until they stopped, that part knew the smooth curve of the gourd was not the water gourd. The water gourd had a rougher grip. He had packed them himself. He was tired and the wine was warm, and he thought, briefly. He drank. The warmth spread. The pain in his hands quieted. The earth beneath him seemed to breathe, in and out, steady. And for the first time since Olodumare had said his name, he did not of the weight of what was required. He drank again. The tree above him leaned. He laughed, and it surprised him. The sound, quiet and strange in new air. Nothing had laughed here before. Nothing had been drunk here before. He was the first in both categories. Beside him, clay, left there by the earth itself, wet and dark, waiting. He looked at it. He should have put down the gourd. Read the rest of the story on Amazon.